Okay, so today, as you've probably seen by the title of this video, we're going to be making a desk that fits on top of two filing cabinets. So these filing cabinets I just got off Amazon. I believe they were $75 each. They're pretty nice. They're charcoal gray. They lock. That hardware's not on there right now. That's inside of it. Haven't got to that yet. But yeah, so like I said, I got them off Amazon, $75. They are 27 inches tall right now, and we want our desk to be about 28 and a half. You can adjust it depending on your height, but 28 and a half works for us. We're a little short, and 28 and a half is perfect because if we just put a 2x top on it, it brings it up to 28 and a half from 27. So that's what we're gonna do it to. Like I said, you can adjust it to however you need by putting maybe another 1x board on top and then the desktop, something like that would work. And so we're doing it the full length of one side of one of our rooms, and the full length of the wall is 11'6", but due to the baseboards, it pushes that out a little bit, and so from the end of that one to the end of this one is 11'4". So that's what we're making our desk do, 11'4". But like I said, you can adjust it however you need. So like I said, we're putting a 2x top on it. This is a 2x12, one 2x6, and another 2x12. So it gives us approximately 29 inches, or maybe a little bit less than that, around there, because this is 11 and a quarter, and then 5.5 are the true dimensions. So a little under 30 inches, and that's what we figured we needed. Have a dual monitor set up and a wireless keyboard for my laptop, so that's the amount of space we figured we needed. So I went and got the lumber. Like I said, you can do any combination of 2x12s, 2x10s, 2x8s, 2x6s, whatever works for you and fits your needs. So first what I did is I obviously picked out the lumber, tried to get the best lumber I could. And then I found what sides we wanted to wear. This is our leading edge, this is the back, this is the bottom right now, and then I'm going to be putting them together with pocket hole screws and glue. That's always worked out for me with desks. So and these are all 12 feet right now. I haven't cut them down to my dimension I need them at, because I'm going to put them together and then I'm going to cut them so I get a clean line on each side. So I'm just going to do, I'm not going to put one all the way at the end right now, because like I said, I'm going to cut them. So I've just gone through in every foot. I put a pocket hole in this one. Sorry for the shadows. Sun is on that side, so it kind of makes some long shadows. But I marked a pocket hole right there, pocket hole right here, pocket hole just every foot, and then alternating each board back and forth on 2x6 and 2x12. Like I said, you can do whatever you want. I just think this is plenty for the support it's going to be. I'm probably going to put a support in the middle at around 5.5 feet, a little over 5.5 feet, just because it's a pretty long span. It could probably hold it, but I got some big friends, and if they come over and sit down, I don't know what the consequences might be. So I'm probably going to put a support in the middle. That'll be later on. I'm just going to try to get the desktop done today. So like I said, yeah, just every foot I'm marking this one, and then that one, then this one, then that one, then this one, then that one. And then I'm just going through and putting my pocket holes in. If you've never used a pocket hole jig, fairly simple. I just have the little one, if I can find it. I don't know where I put it. There it is. So I just have the little one. That works perfect for me. Basically, and it comes with little instructions of how far to put it. I go through and I mark a little dot. Mark a little dot right there. Well, I mark it on here first, so you probably can't see that, but I mark it on there, and then I go through and transfer that onto the board, and then right there. And then the Craig jig makes an actual clamp, but I just went and got one of these. One of these will work, or one of these, or even just a regular clamp. anything like that will work. So I'm going to go ahead and drill all of them. Then I'll come back and show you how we're going to put them together. Alright, so I got all my pocket holes drilled. Like I said, alternating. Then I've laid it together and clamped it all up. Had to get a little innovative with some clamps. I don't have clamps that are long enough, so I had to put those 2 clamps together. I just kind of, so I have these 3 clamps, and they all have a 2x4 underneath there, and they're holding 2x4 flat up against it. It's really flat 2x4, and same thing over here, 2x4, just to hold it flat down, so we have a good flat top. I don't care what the bottom really is too much. I want to make sure the top's flat, and I'll have another one in the middle when I glue's not on it. I just kind of wanted to show you how you would want to do it. Preferably you'd want another one, but this side went together pretty easy. There's no gaps. It was just the other side had a little gap, so I had to throw those 2 clamps on to squeeze it together. Okay, so we put glue on each joint, and then we sandwich them together. Put our clamps back on so we have a good straight top. I didn't put one in the middle. I think it'll be fine. It feels fine. With a little sanding can't fix. Had this together, you know, with my little clamp system, and then another 2x4 clamped underneath. It should be fine. Like I said, I went through and put screws in all these. So the screws you use are these, I want to say 2.5 inches coarse thread. And they have the camera's not going to focus, but yeah. So, and they're the ones that are from Kreg, from the Kreg jig. It's the only ones I've ever used, and they work the best. So yeah, basically just go through and you put a screw into each of these, and then it gives you your own little bit. It's the square drive bit. Then I think I want to say I put my, this focus is killing me. I don't want to focus at all. That's awesome. There it is. So I put my clutch on 10. That seemed to work pretty well. I kind of just gauge it off the first couple to see where, how tight I can get it without stripping it. And I'll try to get it as tight as I can, obviously. So now we're gonna let the glue dry a little bit, and then turn it over, chip off the glue, and sand it. So now we took the clamps off, turned it over, and we're just wiping off all the glue while it was still a little wet. Because you have the screws holding it together, so it's not a big deal if you unclamp it. Like I said, we're going for rustic, so it doesn't need to be perfect. So yeah, we just get old t-shirt rags and get them wet and start wiping. Okay, so now that we got all the glue off, we're gonna go ahead and sand it. I'm gonna start with 80, and then I'm gonna work up to 120, and then finish with 220. I don't think I'm going to go over 220 since it's just a desk and it's supposed to be rustic looking. So yeah, we're just going to go up to 220. So I just have this little, technically a finish sander, but it does the job. Just going to go ahead and sand the whole surface, edges, and get everything off. And where the 2 joints or 2 pieces of wood meet at the joint, we're going to make sure we get that sanded down so it's pretty smooth and just take any of the rough edges off. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So I've sanded it from 80 all the way up to 220. Try to knock down some of these joints, a little bit of imperfections here and there, whatever. So now I'm just cutting it to length. Like I said, 11'4" is what we're doing. So I'm going to do 2.5 off this side and 6 off that side for a total of 8.5, which will get us to what we need it to be at. Just because this side has a little bit of a crack in it, so I'm going to try to get that out of there. That's why I decided to do 2.5 on this side and 6 on that side. So we'll get that cut down. I'm just using a straight edge and a skill saw. Okay, so went ahead and cut those corners off, or cut the ends off. Sanding them all down. Got all the burrs off and everything. Looks pretty good. It's pretty smooth. I went ahead and kind of blew it off a little bit. I don't have a compressor yet, so it's I just used a brush and a fan, try to get as best I can. We're going to go ahead and move it inside. We have another project we're going to get working on. So one thing I'm going to do right now while we're doing another project, which will be posted in a day or two. It's a dresser, but I'm just going to use this. It's not the best stuff, but you know what, it's fine. I'm not a big fan of wood filler anyways. It says stainable, but never really stains the same. The best thing is to use sawdust of the wood that you're using and mix it with some glue and fill it. But I'm just going to come and fill a couple of these things. Like that one, I'm going to fill that. You know, all these knots that are pretty big, this especially. Yeah, I'm just going to go through and fill them all. Basically, you just squirt it in, and you kind of use your finger to press it down in, and then when it's dry, sand it off and stain it. Alright, now that we got everything off of it, we blew all the dust off, wiped it all off. We let the wood filler dry. Looks pretty good. Now we're just going to go ahead and stain it. We just bought the mini wax stain. That's what I've always used. Comes out pretty good. Just going to go ahead and then wipe it on and then leave it for about 10 minutes, and then we'll wipe off the excess. Okay, so we got all the stain on. Whipped it all in, then wiped it off. Came out pretty good. Came out about the color we wanted it to. So now we're going to go ahead and let it dry. The can says 8 hours, but we're just going to do around 4. It's in the sun, so it's drying pretty fast. It's technically not supposed to apply it in the sun, but wouldn't really have too many options, so we're going to let it dry, and then we will come back and put a finish on it. Okay, so now that it's been able to dry, there's no more wet spots or anything. Everything looks good. We're happy with the darkness. If we wanted some more, we could have put another coat on, but we like this. So we're going to go ahead and blow it off again, just to make sure everything's off there. And I'm going to finish it with this. It's just a satin lacquer spray. I like lacquer over polyurethane. I think it gives a classier look, not so fake. So yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so it's stained, finished, and we went ahead and brought it into the room. Set it on top of the filing cabinets. Not quite sure how I'm going to secure it to the filing cabinets, if I even am. It's pretty heavy, so it doesn't want to move a lot, but I think we are going to want it secured, so I might just take a couple screws up through the top, go up through the top of the filing cabinet into the wood, just to do that. Probably not going to glue it or anything like that, just because I want it to come apart eventually. But yeah, it looks pretty good. Alright, so here's it with everything on it. Able to fit my laptop, second monitor, a lamp, pretty decent sized printer, and my wife's second screen, a laptop. We just need to get some mats for the carpet so our chairs roll a bit easier. But like I said, I'm not sure how I'm going to attach those yet, but for right now it seems pretty good. So we're able to have some storage in both of those, and top came out really nice. I work on this little pad. It's called a tech mat. It's meant for guns, but it works perfect for this. Like I said, some suggestions I would say is to make the top a little shorter. Made it a little hard to get into this room since this is the shortest side of this room. Just a little tricky. Other suggestions would be to actually have a joiner or planer to make these a bit easier to go together. I don't have one, so did the best with what I had. Thank you guys for watching, and hope you guys tune in for the next one.